proper coaching is going to get you fitter, faster and enjoying the journey. And we're going to start by looking at the transition from winter training into spring.
Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis racing team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jacqui. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis Racing Team.
I'm Coach Jacqui.
And I'm Coach Oliver, and together we're a mum and son coaching team based in North Lincolnshire and South Yorkshire, giving out straightforward, no nonsense, getting real about triathlon advice. Readers, yes, well, speaking of fluff, readers note, if you hear some rather loud purrs, that is my cat Dylan, who has decided that he wants to be part of this podcast now.
Yes, and if he could get in front of the screen, he would.
He might try.
Yeah.
But he's laid here like a king.
So you can hear him
If you hear him purring,
it's him.
It's Dylan. So, welcome Dylan, today's star guest.
Yes.
But, welcome to this podcast. And today we are going to talk about how proper coaching is going to get you fitter, faster and enjoying the journey. And we're going to start by looking at the transition from winter training into spring. And more specifically, how you can avoid the common mistakes that you sometimes find when you've gone from a winter of rubbish weather,
throwing it down rain, freezing cold,
being in the garage or being in the gym,
and suddenly the sun comes out.
Yes, and how you can avoid those mistakes that everybody makes, even people who know what they're doing, and then keep things fun and enjoyable. Can you just see Dylan's ears? There he is. He's going to make another appearance in a minute.
Yeah. So what we want to do is how you build your training sensibly, you fuel properly, and most importantly, how to enjoy the process. So let's get stuck in. As I say, Dylan may make another appearance if you're lucky.
If you're watching it on YouTube, Dylan will be more famous than us.
Yeah.
Internet famous cat.
Yes.
He has been in a calendar.
Yes, he has a legal calendar.
A legal calendar, featured in one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows he's a star.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the triathlon. Oh, winter has now gone. Well, I say that.
We thought that last weekend.
Yes, when it was 15 degrees on Sunday and we were out seeing to his greenhouse and plants and what have you. And then today it's been 3 degrees driving home from work. So maybe winter is almost gone. It's just threatening us with a bit of a comeback.
Yeah. So you spent months building your fitness. You've been plodding through dark, soggy runs and putting in turbo time. And it's hard.
Yeah. And to quote Gen Z and other millennials on Instagram, the grind is real.
Is it?
That's what they say.
I'm too old for that.
I don't know any of that. I'm not on Instagram enough.
No, me neither.
I'm not down with kids.
So, but winter training, although not glamorous, it's where your biggest gains are made.
Because you can, we've said this before, putting in 16 weeks is going to get you really fit. So if you say, well, we have October off, do November, December, January, February, that's about 16 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, now we're going to get your fine tuning.
Yes. Clocks are going to change soon.
Yep, I can't wait.
Or in America, they're debating about getting rid of it altogether and just having daylight time rather than having daylight savings time. I think we should just get rid of it.
I do, because what's the point?
It don't make any difference now. Farmers have got headlights.
Yeah, and they've got remote control,
kids go to school, they've got street lights. It's not like
and they don't
dark.
walk like I used to.
Oh no.
So we're not going that conversation, but anyway.
No.
But one of the things is, if you rush it now, then you're going to cock it all up.
Yes. You don't want to be the one who peaks on a training camp in Mallorca in April or anywhere else for that matter in April, and then is ill, burned out, knackered, injured, completely fell out with triathlon by the time we get to June.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down some of the common mistakes people make at this time of year and how you can avoid them so that you can hit race season feeling strong, not knackered.
Because we want you to be fit and fresh, not fit and another F word.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to say it because otherwise we have to put explicit language on here. So
Yes,
fit and F.
I'll be washing your mouth out with soap.
Yes. Oh, that's another hazard of doing a podcast with your mother. So imagine the word there, or in fact suggest words in the comments that we could use.
Yes.
That would be fine.
So first mistake.
First mistake, ramping it up from 0 to 100 like you're in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. So you've already done any proper training since Christmas, then you suddenly wake up in March and decide,
Or panic.
yeah, it's time to train like a pro.
I've got a triathlon coming up.
Yeah,
It's going to be summertime. I need to start getting my training in.
yeah. So up goes the mileage, your intensity doubles, and within 3 weeks you're injured, burned out, or just fed up and miserable.
Or all three.
Probably all three, yeah.
And ill. Definitely
yeah,
ill.
Definitely ill.
But we understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a human nature thing. The sun comes out like it did this weekend, and I have never seen. I mean, it was the start of spring because as I'm driving to go and get my shopping from Asda at 8:30, 8:45, so many cyclists out riding.
I saw loads this weekend, yeah.
Big groups of runners going out running in and you think, yeah, why not? It's been absolutely crap weather-wise, and now it's a dry, sunny day. It's a bit more mild than we're used to.
Crack on.
Go out and, we know you're desperate and you want to go out and enjoy it because we don't get enough of those days in England, certainly.
So you've gone out for a long ride and, desperate to do that, and then you run like you're prepping for Olympics, but your body doesn't know how keen your mind is.
No, and it also can't keep up.
No.
It takes time to adapt and absorb your training and adapt to the training that you have given it.
Yeah.
And it takes different amounts of time depending on what part of your body is adapting. Like muscles will adapt faster than tendons will. And it's tendon problems that are things with cycling or with running that you need to be careful about. So, what do you do instead? Build up gradually. Don't cram 6 months or 4 months worth of training into a month trying to catch yourself up. We've said
It's
before,
not uni.
and we're going to say again, it ain't uni. It isn't doing your A-levels or any other school assignment where you get to 10 o'clock at night and you think, well, I need to do that and hand it in the next morning and just cram it all in. That's not going to work for your body. It's not going to work for your mind. It's not going to work for you in triathlon.
Yeah. So you've got to think about progression. Small, steady increases beat wild spikes in volume. And more training doesn't always mean better results, but smarter training does.
Yeah, you've got to be honest with yourself about where you are and where you are now and not where you wish you were. Because, I mean, this is a regular conversation I have with myself as part of my journey back to get into the fitness that I want to get to. I am not as fit as when I did a 5:03 half Ironman. Absolutely nowhere near. But will I get back that way? Probably at some time. Although I have to say, with my lifestyle at the minute, I've decided just to focus on sprint triathlons because I can get that in.
So what we're saying is, be wary of those first few outdoor sessions. Your turbo legs aren't the same as your road legs.
They're also not the same as getting involved in somebody else's
Training.
training because you go out with your mates because it's nice. You don't tend to sit together on turbo, but you'll go out with your mates because it's nice, and somebody will be faster than somebody else and you'll be whipped off.
And you'll be smashing it out.
Yeah, racing each other. No.
No, egos come into play. No, stop it.
Yes, do your own training. Go out as a group, but stick to your own plan.
Yeah. Mistake number 2.
Oh, yeah. Not fueling yourself.
Yeah.
Or hydrating yourself.
So,
That's something that I am always guilty of.
I'm shocking at it.
So-
But we're human.
Yes, I mean, you might have spent some of the winter losing a bit of weight, or certainly since Christmas, losing the weight that you think you'll have put on since Christmas.
Yeah.
Or in the run up to Christmas with all the Christmas meals and parties and what have you that are going on. But you then have to almost reverse diet when your training session starts getting longer and more intense, because you need to fuel those sessions both during the day, but also you should fuel them while you are doing the training themselves.
Yeah.
Even if you are still riding inside, have some sort of sports drink with energy stuff in it, fructose or whatever it might be, in your bottle, or a gel or whatever, and keep your body going, because it is your body has to be thinking like a furnace. That's a really kind of topical thing for us from South Yorkshire with steel working, isn't it? Well, if you think of it as being a furnace, you'll burn through energy at a faster rate than you would do in your winter sessions, because you're going to be doing longer sessions. You're going to be doing
training's a bit harder.
Yeah, outside it always makes it a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that your nutrition keeps up.
Yeah. So what do you do to fix it? Well, you can't fuel a big training effort on salads and rabbit food. As I always think about Commando, but on Biggest Loser.
Australia's Biggest Loser, yeah. Well, you can't, but also you can't fuel it on Big Macs and KFCs.
No.
So there's a balance to be had.
Yeah.
And if you want to train like an athlete, then eat like an athlete.
Yeah.
So plenty of good carbohydrates, plenty of protein.
Yeah.
Protein is really good because it repairs your muscles, it'll help your body adapt, and it's a higher satiation level, so you feel fuller.
But don't just be relying on gels and bars.
No.
You've got to have proper food.
When I did a quadrathlon, I stuck some flapjack to the front of my boat.
You did?
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that were proper food. Or you'll see people do Ironman events, mostly places where it's cold, and they'll have a ham sandwich or a jam sandwich as they're going round, and there's no reason why you can't put a little bit of rice cake or something in your bar. Things like cyclists will have in a musette. You can put that in your little top tube bar.
Because the other thing, you need to plan ahead. You don't want to be having a sandwich 5 minutes before you go out on a long run, because that's a recipe for disaster.
I mean, I can't have anything to eat or drink an hour before I go running, because otherwise I'm going to get stitched. Cycling and running don't matter so much, but
you need to be thinking about how you're going to fuel for the next day, not just the session that you've just finished.
Yeah, because you've got to replace and repair what you've just done, but also you've got another day coming up tomorrow where you'll need to, again, protein, things like yogurt mixed with protein powder. Good. Oh, that really nice Decathlon hot chocolate.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
Well, it's a protein chocolate powder, but we've made it into hot chocolate, and it's almost as good as Après, which was the original one from 15 years ago.
Yeah. And recovery matters. So don't skimp on your post-session nutrition, because you're going to feel it in your next session if you do.
Yes, and you'll rapidly find yourself disappearing into a hole that you'll struggle to get out of.
Yeah.
Speaking as somebody who has had Red S, you do not want to be in that hole.
No. So, mistake number 3.
Ugh. That's going to be people who think they take it too seriously, don't they? Or
I think that Lucy Charles Barkley and Joe Skipper.
If they were a chocolate, they'd eat themselves.
Yeah.
That's how I love that phrase.
Yeah, you see them on Instagram, all gear, no idea, anyhow. But nobody gets into triathlon because they want to be miserable, do they?
No, but also you don't want to be treating it like it's a second job.
No, we've talked about this lots and lots and lots of times.
You've got to enjoy it. It's got to be something that adds to your life, not takes away from your life.
Yeah.
Because your life is your family and your job.
And people we're talking about are obsessed with stats, zones, what your FTP is, and they forget the whole point of doing triathlon is to feel good, push your limits, and have a laugh while you're doing it.
Yeah, and those numbers are relative to one day.
Yeah, they are.
And based on a whole manner of circumstances and scenarios that happen in a day that you cannot replicate day on day on day. So don't worry about them. Just do. RPE is the best way of training, because you will always have the same amount of scale depending on what you haven't got to recreate everything like you're in a lab.
So you've trained through the winter, you've made the commitment, but if every session feels like a chore, then something's gone wrong. The fix is to find the joy in training, not just the numbers. It's not about numbers, as we've just said.
Chasing numbers is the fastest way to ruin.
Yeah.
Because all you'll do is beat yourself up when you've had a bad day at work, or you've had a row with your wife or your husband, and you go out training or into the garage and you think, oh, I can't, why am I not able to hit this number or these whatsoever? It's because you're stressed. And actually, doing training for training's sake is a really good stress reliever, but you're not going to get that benefit of relieving the stress if you're going, ugh, I can't get in this zone, and you're running faster. Or you're pedaling faster because you're stressing about getting into that. So you're undoing a lot of the good that you're going to get from doing it.
Yeah, so it's not about just looking at your Garmin all the time, it's about how you feel. The other thing is, train in a group if you can. Have a laugh, makes a world of difference. Get some mates together.
Yeah, but don't do their training and they don't do yours.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are dreading a session, there are ways that you can combat this. So we, in our training group, know these as paper dragons, which is a oriental expression. But a paper dragon can be easily conquered because it's just there in your imagination and it's not actually real. So you can pick a new route or maybe a new playlist or something else that will just get you through that session. And when you've done it, you'll think, I've slayed the paper dragon.
Yes. And remember why you started. As we keep telling you, triathlon should be adding to your life, not taking it over. If you're constantly feeling stressed about it, then you need to take a step back and reassess yourself.
Yeah, talk to your friends and family about it, because they'll have started spotting that you're getting stressed about triathlon months before you actually admit it to yourself.
Yeah, and they'll be thinking, and they don't say anything to you.
No, because you'll go off the handle at them.
Yeah, so you take a step back, have a look at yourself, think, am I taking this a bit too seriously?
Is this making my life better?
Yeah.
Do I feel better as a person day by day for doing this? Or am I dragging myself into a pit?
Yeah.
If the answer is the latter, change.
Yeah.
Find the fun.
Yeah. So, as we keep saying, you've got to trust the process.
Spring's an exciting time because you can really start seeing like the weather's changing, you get excited because races are coming.
Yeah.
The things that you paid hundreds of pounds towards doing are starting to become nearer and nearer.
Yeah. Your hard work should start to be paying off, but only if you're doing it right.
Yes, so keep building steadily. We in our training group talk about spiralling up in how we progress fitness. So you're going up the spiral all the time rather than going up in a big peak and then coming down in a big trough.
Yeah.
Always spiral, because the more you do that, the more you improve, the more you will enjoy it. And the goal isn't just to get through training, because if you've got that mindset, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
you've got to thrive in it. Yes, you've got to find a balance. And as we said previously, some days are tough, some sessions are coal, but some sessions are diamonds. And if you're constantly feeling like every single session that you're ever doing is coal and is really tough, something's wrong. It's probably training too much or training too hard and not listening to your body. Training should build you as a person and as a machine. It shouldn't break you down.
Yeah, that's right. So, and a good coach will tell you this. He'll be able to spot it anyway.
Most of the time with coaching, you're holding the reins back on people.
Yeah, you are. So one of the best things you can do at this time of year is check in with yourself, as we've just been saying. Are you feeling good? Are you constantly exhausted? Are you balancing intensity with recovery? Are you still enjoying it?
And if the answer to any of them things is not really, then you need to revisit your plan and revisit the training that you're doing, the amount of training that you're doing and how it's all fitting in with your life, because it's not about just smashing yourself into the ground and, getting to that race start line come what may. It's about enhancing things and giving you something that you can look back on and enjoy, because when you cross the finish line, people will say to you, oh, you're going to do another triathlon, and everyone will go, no, I'm not doing another one. And then an hour later you've booked in for another one because you've really thought out what other time you've had. But you won't feel like that.
No, you won't.
You won't enjoy that high as you finish the line, or you won't feel like you've accomplished all that you can accomplish if you're smashing yourself into the ground all the time. So take a step back, have a breath, trust the plan, and crack on. And if you are looking for some guidance, some coaching, either a plan that's monthly or a plan that's weekly and daily with feedback, then get yourself a coach. It really, we keep saying this, it really is the best investment that you will make.
You don't have
in
to be
triathlon.
a professional, because a coach will enhance your life 100%.
Spending £1,000 on a pair of wheels might make you 2 minutes faster. Spending £1,000 on a coach will make you
hours faster.
A lot faster.
Yeah.
Saner.
Yeah.
Your family will still like it. Your dog won't have got mug on with you because you've not been out for taking it for a walk.
Yeah.
There are lots of reasons why you should invest in yourself
Rather than some equipment.
Yes.
And if you're thinking it's still a bit cold in England, then
or wherever else you might be in Northern Europe,
why don't you come to Portugal with us?
Yes. We have our Portugal training holiday, and it genuinely is a holiday. See our episode with David, and we should really put that comment from Lynn on when she said it was the best holiday she'd ever had.
Yeah,
which is saying something.
Yeah.
But do think about joining us. You can come for the full week, beginning the 7th of April, or you can come for a few days, beginning whatever you want to do, 3 or 4 days. Sometimes it's good just to have somebody put their eyes on you and look over what you're doing over a short amount of time, so that you can take confidence in yourself and or correct things that you think might be slightly off anyway.
So
get in touch with the show via our usual social channels, so at Animis Racing, or you can email us at info@animisracing.com. You can find me on Instagram at This Tri Life.
You can find me on Instagram as Triathlon Jacqui.
And very soon you'll see us on on TikTok, I think, or TokTik or whatever it's called.
Whatever
I don't
it
do
is.
that. But when his interns get on with putting us on there.
Yeah.
So you might see more of us in the very near future. But until we're back again next time, we'll see.
Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then. Or as we say in Yorkshire, Civvy.